Welcome to the Global Focus Review channel. If you have any familiarity with the concept of biblical canonicity, you are aware that canons are compilations of books that are considered to be divinely inspired by the Holy Spirit and deemed to be correct and true. However, it is noteworthy that there exist different biblical canons. The most well-known ones at present are the Protestant canon, comprising 66 books, and the Roman Catholic canon, which includes approximately 73 books. In this video, I will be discussing an ancient book from Jewish literature known as the Book of Jubilees. This work unveils hidden information related to Genesis. The Jubilees manuscript, often referred to as the Little Genesis or the Second Genesis, is an ancient Jewish book consisting of approximately 50 chapters. It is considered canonical by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church and also by the Beta Israel Jews, who refer to it as the Book of Divisions in their ancient Ethiopian language, known as this language belongs to the Afroasiatic language family and shares linguistic connections with Semitic and Cushitic languages, specifically those descended from Shem and his brother Ham. The Book of Jubilees was widely recognized among early Christian communities and mentioned in the writings of various ancient authors, such as Epiphanius, Justin Martyr, Origen, Theodorus of Tarsus, Isidore of Alexandria, Isidore of Seville, John Malalas, Euagrius of Constantinople, and George Caddos. While no complete versions in Greek or Latin have survived, the J's version, the language of Ethiopia, has proven to be an accurate translation of the fragments found in the Dead Sea Scrolls manuscripts. The book's chronological framework in Jubilees is based on multiples of 7, with each Jubilee representing a period of 49 years and 7 weeks, corresponding to 1 year. Prior to the discovery of extensive fragments among the Dead Sea Scrolls manuscripts, the only surviving manuscripts of the Book of Jubilees were 4 complete Jaiz texts dating from February 15, 2024 and 16th centuries, along with numerous quotations from writers such as Epiphanius, Justin Martyr, Origen, Theodorus of Tarsus, Isidore of Alexandria, Isidore of Seville, John Malalas, Euagrius of Constantinople, and George Caddos. Additionally, there is a fragment of a preserved Latin translation from Greek that contains approximately 1/4 of the entire work. Currently, there are 27 Ethiopian texts that serve as the primary source for translating passages from the Book of Jubilees into English. These passages directly resemble verses from Genesis, but are not reproduced exactly in either of the 2 surviving manuscript translations. As a result, it was deduced even before these discoveries that the original Hebrew used an unrecorded text for Genesis and the early chapters of Exodus, regardless of the Masoretic text or a Hebrew text serving as the basis for the Septuagint. According to historians, the variation among manuscript traditions, as evidenced by the Septuagint in contrast to the Masoretic text and the variants found among the Dead Sea Scrolls, indicates that even canonical Hebrew texts did not possess a single manuscript tradition in the centuries prior to Christ. Some writers mention the existence of 3 main textual traditions: the Babylonian, Samaritan, and Praktic translations. While it is argued that the pre-Masoretic text could have been reliable at that time, there are arguments both for and against this idea. Between 1947 and 1956, approximately 15 scrolls of the Book of Jubilees were discovered in 5 caves in Qumran, all written in square Aramaic script. This indicates that, apart from Psalms, Deuteronomy, Isaiah, Exodus, and Genesis in decreasing order. Jubilees was widely used in Qumran compared to other biblical books. A comparison between the Qumran texts, the Dead Sea Scrolls, and an Ethiopian version that was already in possession before the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls was conducted by James Vander. He found that the Ethiopian version was, in many respects, a reliable, precise, and literal translation of the text compared to the Dead Sea Scrolls. This contextualizes the pre-existing Ethiopian knowledge of the Book of Jubilees. Robert Harrison Charles, 1855 to 1931, was the first biblical scholar to propose an origin for the Book of Jubilees. He suggested that the author of Jubilees could have been a Pharisee, and that the book was a product of Midrash influenced by the Old Testament Book of Chronicles. However, with the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls, the hypothesis of it being a Pharisee's work was discarded, as several copies of the Book of Jubilees were found in the scrolls, indicating an antiquity dating back before the time of the Pharisees. Dating the Book of Jubilees has been problematic for Old Testament scholars, although the oldest existing copies can be attributed, based on calligraphy, to about 150 to 100 years before Christ. There is much evidence suggesting that Jubilees was written much earlier than this date. Recently, the book has been dated to around 200 years before Christ, but even older discoveries dated from the 7th century before Christ indicate the existence of Jubilees fragments dating back to that time. Additionally, remnants of other scrolls discussing texts from the Book of Jubilees have been found, dated from the 7th to the 8th century before Christ. All of this implies that the Book of Jubilees, presently, there are some intriguing aspects regarding the Book of Jubilees, where Satan is referred to by a different name. In both the Old Testament and the New Testament of the Bible, Satan is recognized by various names. In the Old Testament, it was commonly known as Baal and also referred to as Satan. In the New Testament, it is called the Ancient Serpent, Beel, and many other names. However, in the Book of Jubilees, Satan is referred to as Entema, which means hatred, strife, or confusion in Hebrew. This designation carries a connotation of hatred, according to ancient Hebrew beliefs. The Book of Jubilees, although not officially included in the biblical canon, provides a distinct understanding of Jewish theology during the time it was written. It emphasizes the significance of adhering strictly to religious laws and rituals as a means of maintaining a connection with God. One of the central messages of the Book of Jubilees is the importance of faithfully following divine commandments. The text presents a comprehensive perspective on religious laws and rituals, underscoring their significance in everyday life and in the relationship between the people of Israel and the divine. This reflects the concerns of the Jewish community at that time in preserving their religious and cultural identity amidst political and cultural challenges. Additionally, the Book of Jubilees highlights the pivotal role of the patriarchs, such as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, in shaping the Jewish faith. These figures are depicted as exemplars of piety and obedience to God, with their actions and decisions influencing the destiny of the Israelite people. Their stories are retold and reinterpreted in accordance with the values and beliefs of the contemporary Jewish community, emphasizing their enduring importance to Jewish faith and identity. One distinctive characteristic of the Book of Jubilees is its cyclical perspective on how it organizes historical events into 40 90-year Jubilee periods, suggesting a perception of history as a repetitive process with recurring patterns and cycles over time. This outlook provides a unique framework for comprehending the relationship between the past, present, and future, highlighting the continuous and unwavering presence of the divine throughout Israel's history. According to the Book of Jubilees, it claims to have been written by Moses while he was on Mount Horeb, awaiting the 40 days and nights to receive the 10 Commandments from God. According to the tradition within the book itself, the authorship of the Book of Jubilees is attributed to Moses. However, there are debates and controversies surrounding this claim. I would appreciate hearing your viewpoints on this matter in the comments section. Additionally, according to the Book of Jubilees, it is said that the Archangel Michael dictated the words while Moses transcribed them. This tradition, found within the book, narrates that the book was dictated by the Archangel Michael, and Moses acted as the scribe for the revealed information. The Book of Jubilees is a captivating and profoundly fascinating ancient work of great antiquity. It has been consulted by numerous rabbis to address a wide range of subjects, such as the names of characters and the wives of these characters, among other topics. This text was highly respected and referenced in ancient biblical scriptures to the extent that priestly circles often cited it. For instance, the Hasmoneans adopted the Book of Jubilees and extensively used it as a source for the Aramaic Levi document. Over time, it remained a vital work for priests and rabbis, despite disagreements and disputes concerning specific aspects of the book. Even those who question certain points of the book still use it as a foundation for their own interpretations and thoughts on ancient texts. Furthermore, the Book of Jubilees delves into the classification of angels, including angels of presence, those of sanctification, individual guardians, and those overseeing natural phenomena. It correlates with another ancient text, the Book of Enoch, particularly regarding Enoch's vision of the fallen angels known as the Watchers. I invite you to share your thoughts on this video, which explores the captivating Book of Jubilees, a significant work in Jewish tradition. Please leave your comments and reflections on this ancient work. May everyone be blessed with divine protection, and I look forward to your participation.